Yo, what you lot saying? It's your boy here, and welcome to the 2016 Long Beach Grand Prix for you guys for Indycar. So yeah, let's get right into it. By the way, sorry if I didn't do it earlier. To be honest, like I said, I've had coursework deadlines handed to me for this week. So yeah, I've had to really sort of get those done first before doing this. So yeah, apology, but now thankfully I'm doing it. So yeah. First things first was qualifying. Now qualifying got underway in very dry conditions, usual in terms of Long Beach. So yep. First real big surprise was the Formula 1 boys, including Alexander Rossi and Max Chilton, both of them really struggling quite a lot in Long Beach, and as a result were kicked out of the first session. So unfortunate for both of them. I think their first time in Long Beach, I believe. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I mean, I think give it a few more races or years, and I think they will be up to par with the Indycar boys. That's if they stay in Indycar, so yeah. And then moving into Q2, all of the drivers going on track again, same thing, no real big accidents going on whatsoever. In the end, it was pretty much a surprise, to be honest. Hinchcliffe, Ray Hall and Michaela Lotion, who were right on the sharp end of the field in terms of lap times and practice, struggled in qualifying, and as a result were kicked out of Q2, so unfortunate for that. And then in the end of Q2 the timing actually broke. It actually broke for some odd reason, and as a result we had to move it from turn 11 to turn 9 to get it to work for some odd reason, which it did, and then as a result we got into the top 6 shootout. And then as that got underway, we saw some quick lap times being posted, a lot of the drivers pushing hard, trying to outlap each other. But in the end we had Will Power actually run wide. He actually ran deep, went into the escape road, almost the exact same place as Sam Bird a few weeks ago, hitting the wall very hard. But thankfully he didn't, and he went into the escape road, but he couldn't get going. I believe he couldn't get going, which meant that a red flag was called, which meant that he would be starting in 6th place with no time set. And then as the session restarted, we had one more lap to determine who would be on pole and who would be in 5th. And in the end, it was Elio Castroneves who put it on pole position. A very stunning last lap to put it onto pole. It was a very clean and tidy lap, and yeah. A deserved pole sitter from Elio Castroneves. Second was Scott Dixon, good lap by him as well. A potential championship contender for the championship and the winner last time out in Phoenix. Third was Simon Pagenaud, our championship leader. Good lap by him there. Fourth was Tony Kanaan, good lap by him as well. Fifth, of course, is JPM, which is a bit surprising, especially as he was one of the dark horses for this race. So for him to not be as high as we were expecting is quite a bit strange, to be honest. And same with Will Power as well. We were expecting him to be nonetheless maybe for pole position actually. So the fact that he hasn't is quite surprising, to be honest. So as the race got going, it was a very clean start, especially going to turn 1. But then once we got into the fountain, we had a lot of 2 wide, almost 3 wide action around the fountain section, but thankfully no contact whatsoever, so it was all good. We also saw later on some jostling for positions, and that was between Hunter Ray, Charlie Kimball, Max Chilton and Joseph Newgarden. And they, Hunter Ray are fighting all of them pretty much. First with Charlie Kimball passing Ryan Hunter Ray, and then afterwards Ryan getting ahead of Joseph Newgarden going into turn 1, and then afterwards Hunter Ray defending from Max Chilton very heavily going into turn 1. And also another thing, Max having a very sort of ridiculous race, I'd say, to be honest. Him cutting the corner out of the section after the fountain section, going onto the back straight. He actually cut the corner so many times, it was ridiculous. And I was very surprised that he didn't get a penalty for it, especially as how much he did it, to be honest, and how much he cut it, to be honest, because it was just a massive amount that he actually cut going onto the back straight. So I don't know you know, why he did it, to be honest. I don't know whether he got the memo or not to go through the corner like that or not. I don't know, but you know, I think I think drivers have got to be. I don't know. To be honest, you know, I think Max, if he did know, then I don't know why he would do it. To be honest, but still, you know, you're not supposed to cut the corner multiple times, you know, because that's cheating. So yeah, I don't know what was going on with Max Chilton in terms of him cutting the corner before the back straight. And then afterwards, we saw this really good battle between race leader Elio Castroneves and second place driver Simon Pagenaud, both Penske teammates, battling really hard. Simon really on the back of Elio, pushing hard, trying to get past him as much as he can, and that really was the case throughout the rest of the stint, really, until the pit stop. So yeah, both of them really pushing hard. And then as they came into the pit stops, Ray Hall on in first. I don't know, I think it was a little bit of a strategy call from the Ray Hall team. They pretty much were at the back of the field. They didn't really play much of a factor in the race, to be honest, which is a bit unfortunate, especially as last year Ray Hall was a championship contender last year. The fact that he is now in the sort of in the background is quite sad, to be honest. Hopefully he can improve for Barber onwards, to be honest, because at Barber that was where he managed to make that charge for the championship. That was where that charge really started. So hopefully next time in Barber he can really shine through there. So yeah. And then as we got into the pit stops, Elio Castroneves and Simon Pagenaud got into the pits. Pretty much most of the field went into the pits on the same lap as the leaders. Bar one or two, I believe it was Scott Dixon who stayed out for a little bit longer, and then as he came out as the field sort of came out on the field, it was as they sort of rejoined, I would say. Scott Dixon actually was in second with Simon Pagenaud leading, and then Elio Castroneves in third place. So very interesting from Elio dropping from first to third. So yeah, and pretty much afterwards he would drop away off the leading two of Dixon and Pagenaud as they would fight out for the lead of the race. But as they got into that final pit stops, very major controversy actually happened, and that was Simon Pagenaud. As he came off the pit road, Scott Dixon was charging hard going into turn one. It was going to be very close on the exit. It looked like it was going to be side by side, but as Simon came off the pit road, he actually, I don't know, it was very hard to tell, but he cutted the yellow lines on the exit of the pit lane. Now the rules say you can't cut the yellow lines on the exit of pit lane. It's exactly the same as F1, where you're not supposed to cross the white line, because if you do that you get a penalty, and that's kind of what Simon did.
Race leader, Scott Dixon. This is close for the lead.
Actually, he's in the lead. Oh. He's ahead. This is going to be
and as a result, he got no penalty, and I was kind of annoyed, kind of furious by that, because Simon Pagenaud, I mean, if you could look at it, he like obviously cut the corner, and cut the yellow line, and you're not supposed to do that. So I don't know what the IndyCar officials were thinking, to be honest, because he obviously cut the corner so that he could get ahead of Scott Dixon out of pit lane, and I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest. That just got me enraged, to be honest, because, you know, the fact that they didn't give him a penalty, you know, because Simon wanted to get ahead of Scott, is just absolutely unacceptable, to be honest. Absolutely unacceptable. I think, honestly, there should have been a penalty, and Scott should have been the one leading the thing rather than Simon, so yeah. Really, as soon as Scott was told that, Scott was immediately on Simon. He pushed hard, he gave him absolutely everything. And then in the closing stages of the race, there was a bit of traffic going on, and Simon really slowed up a lot because of the traffic. And as a result, that led to Scott being right on the back of Simon going into the final corner. And as they came up the final corner, Scott was right on the back of Simon. Scott really tried as hard as he can to overtake, but there was nothing he could do. Simon Pagenaud won the race from Scott Dixon behind in second place. Third, I believe it was Elio Castroneves, good drive by him. Fourth was, I believe, Juan Pablo Montoya, so good drive by him. But honestly, what the hell? What the fuck, IndyCar? I mean, honestly, that was just stupid decision making from IndyCar officials, to be honest, because Scott cutted. He obviously cut the corner before the end of the yellow line, and that's just stupid. That's just stupid, to be honest. You know, As soon as you cut that yellow line, you get instant stand dunk penalty, and the fact that they didn't, and the fact that they gave him a warning for that, is just totally unacceptable, to be honest, because that should have been Scott's race. That really should have been Scott's race, to be honest. He had a beautiful out lap, I mean, and had a golden opportunity to take the lead of the race, but didn't because Simon cheated to win that race. So I just don't know what to say. To be honest, I've just lost all respect to Simon because of that. The fact that he would cheat like that to take the win and Indycar would do nothing is just totally unacceptable. Unacceptable, so yeah. So besides that, it was a good race, nonetheless. Besides that, I would give that an 8 out of 10. A good race, nonetheless. And that's about it. So let me guys know what you think about the race. Did you like it? Did you not? What do you think about the Simon Pagenaud incident? Do you think it was fair by the IndyCar to not give him a penalty? Or do you think it was unfair to not give him a penalty? Let me know by commenting down below. Also, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you enjoyed it.